All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to this live stream today. Today, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin and, obviously do a quick update on the crypto markets, as well as a quick market scan of the altcoin market. And after that, if we have time, so this is going to be a short one, we're going to look at the Forex market because I have a few open positions in the Forex market. All right, so let's run the intro, and right after we'll take a look at the markets. All right, so today's live is sponsored by crypto.com, which is an exchange you definitely need to check out. Not only will they give you $50 in CRO as a bonus when signing up to their exchange, so just use the link in the description below and sign up, and you get a $50 bonus in CRO, which is their native token. So check that out. Now, let's start with Bitcoin. What's happening on Bitcoin? Well, it's not bouncing. It's not really making us a lot of money here. Is if you long this, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. Right, so what's happening? Well, it's very I don't know, man. Like, it's just frustrating. It's not the fact that we're bearish. It is frustrating that it's just price action is just so very indecisive. I don't know, like I don't know what's going on here. It's for me, it's very hard to trade this. I mean, yes, we had this short setup that we talked about on Twitter, but it's like I'm not really feeling this. I mean, if I'm not in this, I pulled the order. Pulled the orders when we kind of broke this low, right? But if you are in this, I mean, yeah, it's following the trend. It's actually following the overall trend, right? It's actually following the overall trend. So I do think it's likely going to hit. But what happens in this downtrend is we tend to create ranges after the breakdowns, right? So we have and by the way, guys, we got like a snowstorm outside here in Sweden. Maybe not a snowstorm. I'm probably over exaggerating. It's snow flying around just a little bit, but there's definitely wind. And my son is sleeping upstairs, and he tends to wake up in weathers like this one. So I might have to cancel the live stream, but it is what it is. So before I have to cancel, I just want to say this. I don't have a clear direction of where Bitcoin is going right now, and not many people do. And it's just quite hard to trade this. What's happening here is whenever we break the range to the downside, we form a new range, which is very choppy, and it's actually, for me, with my system, it's very hard to trade these trends, right? I mean, you do have a decent trend right here with the lower lows, I mean lower highs and lower lows, and every kind of like every rejection here at the 4-hour 50 EMA would have been a decent short entry, because you can see that the stochastics RSI is in a decent area here, which kind of would confirm the trade. Yeah, I would probably do that. I'm not going to cancel, so I'll just postpone if anything happens. Probably going to be like, if I have to cancel, I'll be back in 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So, but then you can look at the lower time frames. You look at the low time frames, and the trend is not very clear here, and the same thing is going on right here. Get the hit of the 4-hour moving averages, but the swings are just too weak. There's just no No nice trend on the 4 hour at all. And then you have another breakdown, which happened right here. So you have this range, get that breakdown, and we're probably going to be trending here in a new range again until we break down or break out, right? Yeah, exactly. This is a very good comment. New traders shouldn't try to trade this market, right? And it's not because um it's not because you're not experienced enough. It's because overall these market conditions are quite hard. So in the Nest team we have four full-time traders, and we are all saying the same stuff. Like, this is not only, it's not the fact that it's a hard market to trade, it's just it's not giving many actionable high probability setups, right? Especially as a swing trader, we are all swing traders. So as a new trader, you're probably coming into the market and trying to hunt setups and trying to find setups and trying to force your analysis and force your bias on the chart and really try to find a setup every day, right? But that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be observing the markets and waiting for the markets to give you something, right? And give you a trade. And now if that doesn't happen, well, there's not going to be a trade, right? So the reason why I'm not taking shorts like this one is because Bitcoin is actually, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to remove that. So Bitcoin is, because the reason why I can't remove this because I get post on Twitter say exactly as predicted, stuff like that. So you look at the daily for Bitcoin, and we're actually trading right at a major support area, right, and a major invalidation area. So if this level gets hit, if this support gets fails to hold as support, well, then we have a potential high time frame invalidation of the uptrend. This is just a high time frame equal lows, right? Equal lows in an overall bullish market, right? So I'm not ready to say that I'm like, technically I can't be bearish on Bitcoin. Fundamentally, I can't be bearish on Bitcoin. While looking at my gut feeling says we're going to break down. My gut feeling says I am bearish on the crypto market, right? But technically, I can't be bearish until we break below 40K and create some type of daily market structure below daily below the 40K level. Sorry if I'm confused. It's just I had to kind of run down to my office and start the stream. So I'm a little bit stressed. So I'm just gonna try to relax. So yeah, that's why I'm only looking for longs on altcoins. I'm not trading Bitcoin. It's just very hard to trade Bitcoin at this point. But we can trade altcoins because there are a few altcoins that are actually in a high time frame uptrend. My honest opinion is I think the market is going to shit. Like, that's my gut feeling. It says we're in a potential macro top in risk on assets, right? So we might see equities taking a hit, and we're going to see Bitcoin and crypto taking a hit, and this might be the end of the bull market, right? And I'm not talking about only Bitcoin. I'm talking about, you look at the S&P 500. We might see the end of this trend, and we've seen some insanely strong markets and strong gains ever since the COVID crash, right? Ever since the COVID crash, everything has just gone up. Everyone who has been invested in the market has been making a lot of shit ton of money. And now that the Fed is basically stopping, the music is slowly coming to an end. And that might mean that the macro bull market is slowly but surely printing a top here. Now, nothing is confirmed, right? But that's just my gut feelings. And I'm not going to trade on that until the technicals confirm that. And it hasn't confirmed it, but it also haven't invalidated that idea, right? What would invalidate that idea at least for Bitcoin, well, in my case, my goal is first sign of invalidation would be a reclaim of the daily 50 EMA, which is right now sitting at around 47.5K. Right. So we're talking about we're talking about let's say, somewhere between 15 and 20% move to the upside from Bitcoin to invalidate my bearish outlook and to actually go long on Bitcoin and add spot exposure to the crypto market. So that's quite a big level, quite a big move to the upside, right? But then Bitcoin, when stuff gets bullish again, a 20% move is nothing. It's just nothing at these levels, at least. But we need to see the macroeconomics line up. We can't just say Bitcoin is going up because Bitcoin is a good asset to, like, it's a good, fundamentally good thing. So it's going to go up. That's not how it works. Bitcoin is now not some obscure, weird, digital shitcoin that existed in some weird, chat room. It's now part of the global economics, right? It's just really part of every big financial institution's portfolio, really. So it's really, in there with the big players. So it's going to be acting like any other risk on assets. And if the global economic outlook is shifting to a bear market, risk on assets are going to suffer, and Bitcoin is in that basket, right? It's a risk on asset. Now, how much is it going to suffer in comparison to the others? Well, we don't know that. We're just going to have to observe and wait, right? But I do suspect that Bitcoin tends to outperform to the upside, but also outperform to the downside and underperform more than you expect it to do, right? It really likes to surprise people. And with that logic, a bear market for Bitcoin could be massive moves to the downside, but that also gives us opportunity, right? So if we do see a macroeconomic shift here into a bear market and Bitcoin is completely gets wrecked and starts reversing, right? Well, then what happens when the global economic structure starts to turn bullish and the market starts to feel risk on again? Well, what happens in that case is we're going to have a fantastic risk to reward opportunity to again long and enter the crypto markets, right? So a big move to the downside is a good thing, right? If global markets turn risk off and Bitcoin dumps heavily to the downside, that's a good thing because it's going to go up again. It's going to go up again because fundamentally nothing has changed with Bitcoin, right? All right. We got a question here. Anyone holding their alts, if they are break even right now or getting out, do you see a bounce with alts? Oh man, it's yeah. Do I see a bounce with all alts in the next few days? So first of all, I don't know. That's just the honest truth here. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. So what I can do is I can give you scenarios, right? I can give you a couple of scenarios. I can say, if price does this, the probability of going higher is higher than the probability of going lower. And then if price does this, we're bearish, blah, blah, blah. So I can't really tell you that. I think we're going to get a bounce in the next few days because I have no way of trying, like, predicting the future in any other way than if the trend is up, we're going up. If the trend is down, we're going down. And that's it. That's the only way I can try to predict future price action as a technical analyst. So let's do that, right? Let's look at the fuck me, look at this. God damn it. Yeah, let's take a moment and not appreciate the fact that I did not go long on this one. I explained this in the last webinar I had. I'm not sure if that was live one on YouTube or if that was for the Nest Club members. By the way, guys, hit that like button if you're not If you haven't already, if you like my content, if you like these markets update where I kind of give you my thoughts on the market, hit that like button. It's going to help the webnest a lot. So really appreciate that if you could hit that like button. Anyway, so this, yeah, good trade, and it was really confirmed. Well, it was pretty much confirmed here, right? So the trade would have been this. Well, this would actually have been quite nice. So I would have stops below here, and then TP somewhere up here with partial profits taking at 1-1, which is the last local highs. Now, why didn't I take this trade? Well, the fact that I didn't take this trade was because I really felt, I really felt that like Bitcoin was not really giving us anything in terms of bullish price action. Now let's see, where did that bounce actually happen? Yeah, it happened yesterday evening, and I was actually having the webinar when that happened. So weird why I never took that trade. But yeah, it's well, the candle did actually close and confirm the setup midnight wine time. But you know what? There's actually a new setup forming here, and that trade would actually be the retest of. But then again, we had that retest, so it would be this would be the next trade idea. So if I would post anything, would be this. And actually, it's looking kind of good. It's actually looking kind of good, but I'm just not really feeling bullish on markets at this stage. Let's see what. That would be 0. All right. So it would probably be like, what kind of makes me feel like this might not be the best option is the fact that that high has already been tested once. And if you look at the lower time frames, it's actually like a beautiful, beautiful W here on the 4 hour, or at least the 1 hour. Then you have these highs right here, and you hit that perfectly with the stochastic RSI bull cross. So what could happen here is, of course, we could just start trading lower and test this area properly before moving higher. So what I would do in this case, and this is something I do a lot of times, is I used I'm just gonna add some questions here. Let's see. Yeah, so what I do is I if I see something like this, I'm just gonna add orders here and hope for the best. Really, just hope for them to get filled. Because usually if they do and the market turns bullish, that they usually turn out quite well. But honestly, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it here. So I'm not sure what to do. But let's look at that trend. We were talking about trends, right? So what needs to happen here is the altcoin index on FTX is obviously quite bearish here. It's in a bearish downtrend right here, lower highs and lower lows. We could see that we have secondary uptrends within this downtrend, and we have not broken that. So what would really confirm some type of uptrend on altcoins would be this, right, where we can break out of this channel or whatever and reclaim this level right here and then start moving higher. And that would also be lining up with the daily 20 and 50 MA. So that will really confirm that, this is when this happens, I shift from focusing on the Forex market and focus 100% on the crypto market, especially going long on altcoins. And that's really what I'm waiting for. And that's probably going to happen if Bitcoin starts reclaiming this area right here, and especially if it reclaims the daily 20 EMA. So will we get a bounce in the next couple of days? Well, we're kind of getting a bounce right now. You can look at some altcoins here. ADA, well, yeah, ADA is looking like shit, but FTX, FTT actually looking pretty decent here. But will we get a bounce? I don't know. I don't know. It looks like, it looks like we might get a bounce to kind of take us back. I feel like I have a very bad read on the market right now, so I just can't really give good advice at this point. I can just share with you my analysis and what I'm doing. And what I'm doing right now today is well, it's not it's not been the best trading day. So I'm currently in two positions, which is like both of them is in a loss. And yeah, let's take a look at those a bit later. Let's do a quick market scan here to see if we can find anything interesting. Let's go into daily. It's just going to be a quick one. Start with a daily. Sometimes I'll just go through the list like this quite quickly to see if we can find anything to trade. Do we have anything that looks slightly remotely bullish? Is everything bearish? Because remember, I'm still looking for longs, right? Still looking for longs. Yeah, Atom's pretty nice. But I do suspect that there's not a lot of bullish altcoins out there. So yeah, it looks rather bearish. This would actually be quite interesting short. This lines up very nicely for short. I don't know. Right, so daily, as you can see, like the overall market structures are very bearish, and we really need to see a break in market structure. But you know, like a lot of these coins are really lining up for perfect short opportunities. Like you look at this one right here. I mean, look at that level. Look at the bearish rejection, and then the daily stochastic RSI bear cross. Like that is a picture perfect short like that. And that short would look something like this, right? So I'm actually quite tempted in starting to short this stuff like this. And then you look at the 4 hour, and you might want to enter up here. Stops here. But the risk to reward, I don't like the risk to reward. I think I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't like it. I'd rather wait for the bullish break. Because I do think that overall, longs have better risk to reward ratio in crypto at this point. So I just want to stay with that. Yeah, I'm going through this list, and I just can't really get any idea of what's for me to go long. So what I want to say here is I'm not gonna trade any altcoins today. I'm not gonna enter any new positions on altcoins today. FTT, yes, FTT looks very, very good, but am I going to trade it? I don't know. I'm very hesitant in that, so I think it would just be best for me to, and with the two loose, probably going to lose the two open positions, and I've entered those with a little bit higher risk than what I usually do. Why I did that is not not clear. Probably because I had last week was quite good, and I felt that these two trades were quite high probability, but I definitely got a bit greedy. So I think losing those two trades in today will make me very very sensitive to revenge trading and basically taking trades to make that back, which usually ends very, very bad. So let's look at those trades. First, we can cover some questions here. What leverage do you use? Well, leverage doesn't matter. I use whatever leverage will make me risk 1% of my, like if I risk, normally I risk 1% of my portfolio on a trade, pretty much every trade. And I use whatever leverage is necessary for me to lose 1% of my capital on that setup, right? So the question is not how much leverage are you using. The question should be how much are you risking on your trades? Because it could be two times leverage, or 5 times leverage, or 10 times leverage. but I'm only going to size my position in a way that I'm only going to lose 1% of my capital on any trade that I take. So leverage is not important. The only thing that's important is you put in a stop loss, and when you put in that stop loss, you calculate how much you're going to lose if that stop loss gets hit, and that's all you need to care about. And when you join my live streams, like you can't expect any hopium from me, like no bullish hopium or bearish hopium, whatever. I'm just gonna give it to you at, like, as I think, in the most honest way, because it's just um we got enough of that. We got enough of that. Like, you can just go on Twitter and just do a quick scroll down on Twitter, and it's going to be the most bullshit stuff all over the place. Like, everyone's just going to be saying the most weird shit. Like, you know, like Bitcoin is going to 100K. I know it. I can feel it. Shit like that. Like, who cares? Who cares? You just watch price. You know what I mean? Like, market is in an uptrend, you long. Market is in a downtrend, you short. Well, people like that. People like to hear that. People like to see bullish charts, and people like to hear that. And probably because they're in positions and they would like that to happen. But it's like, don't trade your emotions, don't trade the price, just stick to price action. Right. So I use trade on daily and week. It's hard to implement what you and Big Shit shows in long time frame advice. Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And then again, why do you trade on week and daily? Well, that's a stupid question. I shouldn't be asking that. Daily and weekly. No, I don't think it's. I don't think it's gonna be difficult to implement this on daily and the weekly. So what you do is you scan on the weekly, and well, I never really look at the weekly, so it's gonna be hard for me to. But like here, for example, you can look at the weekly, and you have a very strong weekly. Like this is simple, right? So you have a very strong weekly bullish engulfing candle, right? So you have a strong weekly bullish engulfing candle with a stochastic horizontal cross on the weekly. So that is obviously a bullish thing. And then of course you can add the fibs here, right? And you will see that the bullish engulfing happens right inside the high time frame reload zone, right? So it's a very good confluence right here. It just fills up that whole reload zone. It's absolutely beautiful. And then go down to daily, right? And what you have here on the daily, well, look at that. It's beautiful breaking retest around the bottom, right? It's just absolutely beautiful. So is it really that hard to implement this on the weekly and the daily? You have a daily W right here, breaking retest of the neckline of the W. You got a daily candle close right here. Now, of course, the daily stochastic here is in the overbought territory. So you might want to see, like, but this is good. I mean, this is good on the daily. You could just enter, like, if you're trading this on daily, weekly and daily, this would be a decent trade, right? Up to the minus 618. 1.5 hour trades are sure, not the best risk reward, but that's the type of stuff I would be looking at if I only trade the weekly and daily. And then you might have to adjust your moving averages to the weekly, see what works best on the weekly. Man, I'm watching my P&L here on my Forex positions, and it's like I'm hoping for a miracle, which tells me I'm fucked. God damn it! I really thought that all along. We're gonna take a look at those. Right. So let's see if we have any more questions before we move on to the Forex market. Yeah, I'm gonna be. Right. Okay. So let's look at Forex positions. Quick scan. I've got my orange list right here. So CAD CHF. This is a long. I'm in, which is not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. I'm trying to convince myself that it's not looking too bad. So I'm just going to repeat that over and over again until I believe it. It's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. I'm not going to get stopped out. I'm not going to get stopped out. Probably gonna get stopped out. Anyway, so that's CAD CHF. I like this trade. I really do like this trade. However, it's not lining up on the 4 hour with my system, which is like, I don't know, man. Like I'm an expert at convincing myself that I'm gonna take the trade anyway. Like I don't know. Like I make that mistake maybe once a week or once every other week, which is not, it's not a huge problem. Like it's just gonna be like 1 or 2 losers, and then I'll make up for that with 1 winner, right? But it's problematic because I sit down and I do my journaling, right? I do my um, do my journal review, and I go through all my trades, and I'm like, this trade is not fitting my system. Well, then let's look at all of those trades that are not in perfect accordance with my system. What's the win rate? And it's like 35%, right? And then you look at the win rate of the trades that are in perfect confluence with my system, and it's like 75%, right? I'm like, you dumb fuck. Why are you taking the trades which have a 35% win rate versus the ones would have a 75% win rate? And I'm like, that light bulb starts shining, and I'm like, all right, I shouldn't take those trades. And then it goes a week, and I'm like, oh, look at this one. It's not in perfect accordance with my system. But if I do this and this and this and this, I have a list of reasons to ignore my rules. And it's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I get stopped out. And the cycle just repeats itself. If I could get rid of that, I would be so much more profitable. If I could just not be stupid once every other week, I would be so much more profitable. So much more profitable. And these 2 trades right here, they might be winners, but they're not good trades. Winners or losers, they're not good trades, right? They are not good trades. And let me explain why. So you look at the 1 hour right here. Let's use the replay functions. You have the on the 4 hour. I had a webinar yesterday where we basically looked at this, right? We looked at this and I said, I want to see a break and retest of this level, breakout and retest. If we get that, I'll go long, right? So what happens is, and of course we need to see a good retest like this, right? And then the 4 hour stochastic is going down. That's the plan, and that's my system, right? Now what happens is we get a breakout, and it's nowhere near activating my system. And then we have a retest right here. So what I do is I go down to the 1 hour and I say, wait a minute, this looks really good on the 1 hour. It moves lower. I'm like, you know what? And then we have a bullish engulfing candle on a 1 hour with a stochastic horizontal bull cross. I look at the 4 hour. I'm like, this is a pretty decent candle on the 4 hour. But then again, it's not according to the system, right? So what I do is we have this move. And I put the fibs on this move, and I see we bounce inside the reload zone here of the bigger move, confluent with the 20 EMA in the 4 hour, and we're also reversing inside the local reload zone. So what I did was I entered somewhere around here based on that price action, right? And all of this is happening on the 1 hour, which it looks decent, right? It looks decent. So everything, this is all happening on the 1 hour, right? But then you look at the 4 hour, and it's not confirming. It's not confirming. However, what would confirm this is if we get a move like this, and then a 4 hour bullish engulfing right here. So actually, the confirmation of my system would happen on the invalidation of my low time frame trade. That's the stuff, like I'm showing you guys this as a learning experience, right? You either stay true to your system or you don't. You either stay consistent with a system or you do not stay consistent. And if you don't stay consistent, you're going to be either not profitable or less profitable. And I'm probably going to pay an expensive price for this. because it's not according to my system. Not a terrible trade, it's just a bad trade according to my system. And then we have the oil trade, which I'm going to show you as well using the replay function. So we have the highs on oil right here. So the blue box you can see here is the highs, and then you have on the daily. So analysis is not bad. The analysis on this one isn't bad. I like this. I really do like it, but execution is terrible. Analysis is good, right? But the trading part is terrible. So we have that upper trend line, which I like, and it's also lining up with the minus 236 right here. So I'm expecting oil to, if we break out here and have a nice reclaim of this level, I'm expecting oil to start moving up here. So what happens is on a 1 hour, we get a breakout, right? And now I'm watching this and I'm like, holy shit, look at this. It looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. So what I'm doing in this case is doing something that I shouldn't be doing. I'm adding the moving averages on 1 hour and I'm focusing on the 1 hour, right? I know that statistically when I do this, it has lower win rate. It just has lower win rate. So what happens is price comes down, hits the reload zone, the 618, the reload zone of the latest up move, has a nice 1 hour bullish engulfing candle, starts moving higher, confirmed bull cross on the 1 hour, and I enter, right? With a TP up at that minus 236, which would be a decent target, right? But what I'm missing on the 4 hour is, again, stochastics is closer to the overbought territory. Stochastics should be down here, just like we had here and here. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for. And if I'm going to take a trade on the 1 hour, it needs to confirm with the 4 hour. If I take an entry on the 1 hour, it's only to get a better entry on my 4 hour setups. It's not to ignore the 4 hour setups and take an entry on the 1 hour as an isolated time frame, Now, what's actually happening here on oil is something beautiful. Actually, it's creating a 1 hour double bottom, which actually looks like it might be playing out. If we could get a push it upside. Yeah, I've been thinking about deleting the 1 hour button, but it's actually, yeah, let's do that. I'll delete that one. So I'll have to go in here to find it. Yeah, I like that. See if I can remove. I don't need a 12 hour. I use that 3 day. I don't use that as well. 1 minute. Yeah, let's not look at 1 minute. Not the 5 minutes as well. Right, and yeah, it's good. I do close trades early from time to time. I do that. I do that. All right. So what happens here on the 1 hour is actually quite nice. You have a 1 hour double bottom. Like this just looks great, and then you have this candle. I mean, look at this. It's just absolutely beautiful, and it really, really looks like it wants to move higher. But then it's like, oh fuck that. I'm just kidding. And it does this shit. And now I'm thinking, it's so close to my stop loss, but now 4 hour stochastics is moving down into the oversold territory and is starting to potentially activate a setup on the 4 hour. The only problem is, and this happens all the time when I'm doing shit like this, the invalidation area of the 1 hour trade is the confirmation area of the 4 hour trade. Same with oil, just as it's the same with CAD CHF. But technically, on the 1 hour, the system and the trade that I normally take on the 1 hour is actually still valid. So if I cancel this trade right now and oil, I'm I'm not following like any idea. I'm going against the 1 hour idea, and I'm also not following the 4 hour idea. So I just have to let these play out. I have to let them play out, and it's just gonna go. Let's just see what happens, and then after the fact, I'll have to take that loss, and the fact that I'm gonna lose money on it will make the learning experience more. It's gonna hurt more, and I'm gonna remember that, right? So I'm gonna be losing money on the trades, and it's gonna be a learning experience, and I'm probably gonna learn more from it than if I exit now, because I kind of need to feel that pain to kind of remember this, right? Because usually that's how I've developed, in my years as a trader. That's the moments where I've really developed as a trader, is where I make mistakes and I lose money on it, right? Because if I exit here now and I make the right decision, yes, I've saved money, but have I learned anything? And probably no. So for me, I know this might sound weird, but for me, I would rather lose money if this is a bad idea, so that my brain registers this idea right here with losing money. No, I think I'm not in. I don't agree. I just don't really agree with that. I think I need to let these trades play out, because they can actually play out, and I need to stick with the original idea and then review whatever is happening after the fact. That's just I feel like that is the right thing to do for me. ALCX, yeah, we can take a look at that. Yeah, this one is not looking good. Not looking good. Needs to reclaim like 300. Yeah, I think it needs to reclaim 300 area before we can do something here. All right, guys. So I have very little time left. So if you have any questions or anything you want me to look at, just I'll give you a couple of minutes to ask whatever you want, and then I'll have to leave. Let's see what my actual entry here is on CAD CHF. That's my entry, and stop loss is same stop loss, and entry TP is same. So that's the trade. Yeah, in Prom XBT, you can transfer over USDT or USDC or whatever to trade the Forex market, or you can, of course, buy Bitcoin and then convert that into USD or USDT. All right, let's look at Cosmos and Luna, and that's going to be the two last ones. Luna's looking great. I think if we can bounce here in this area, I think Luna looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of the strongest shots in. crypto right now. I really do like that. If we can get a nice bounce here, I think we're definitely going higher. And my long-term target is around between 130 and 140 for Luna. But I'm not taking trade on this now. Mostly because of the mistakes I'm doing today. I just can't. I have rules that says, if you have 2 losses in a row and you stop, make a stupid mistake, you stop trading as soon as possible and take a break. Atom needs to reclaim the $38-$39 area. So this is that area I'm talking about, and I want to see something like that for a potential move. This trade last week was pretty nice, or yesterday, whatever, the 14th, not yesterday. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining, guys, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.